In this video, I'm going to talk about shrimping. Now, in my opinion, I think a lot of people do the shrimping drills and they don't really know exactly why they're doing them and what the purpose is for. There's many different ways to shrimp. I'm going to talk about the major shrimping drills that people do. The backward shrimping, the circle shrimping, which pretty much a lot of people don't do in my opinion, and the forward shrimping as well. Now, in my opinion, when people do the backward shrimping, they should do it differently, because more often than not, the backward shrimping is mimicking an escape movement when your opponent is mounting you. Now, you can do the backward shrimping when you have the guard. That's when you're trying to adjust your guard positioning, and it'll be a little bit different than the drill that I'm going to show you. However, more often than not, the backward shrimping is most helpful when someone has you mounted. And this is where I think people are doing the shrimping movement inefficiently. Now, I'm going to do the shrimping movement that I see the majority of the individuals doing, which is pretty much almost everybody. Every school I've been to, I'm even guilty of showing it this way. I have changed the way that I do the backward shrimping in regards to a solo drill only about 4.5–5 years ago. If you watch the solo drills video where I do 33 drills in like 7 minutes and you'll see me do the backward shrimping, I actually do it the inefficient way, what I consider now to be the way that isn't as correct. So this is the way that I'm talking about. So if Colin just moves back here this way, I'm here like this, right? When I do the shrimping movement here, this looks like I'm doing it just fine. And technically, it's not, I don't want to say it's wrong. I just think that if you're drilling the shrimping movement as an escaping movement, you need to make some adjustments. Because something like the elbow knee escape, it's pretty much shrimping. That's what you're doing to escape. You are shrimping to escape. So if I do that one more time, I'm here like this, right? Now when you watch that, you're probably like, what is wrong with that? That's exactly how I do it. I'm coming here, my hips are coming off the ground, there's space here, I'm pushing with my leg, and so on and so forth. Now some people also do 2 feet, here. Now the problem is when people do shrimping in a class setting, when your instructor says, shrimp down the mat, most individuals, they do it with the purpose of just getting from one end of the mat to the other. They don't actually do it and think, why am I doing this? Am I doing this because I'm trying to mimic something? Usually when you're doing a shrimping movement, you should be thinking about the fact that your opponent is on top of you and you're trying to escape the mount position. Now, what happened is I had a student and they were having trouble escaping the mount. Or basically, the number one issue that I find with people having trouble getting used to doing the elbow knee escape is they don't clear their one leg out. So Colin is here, right? And he has me mounted. I go to do the shrimping movement, so I'm here like this, I go to do the shrimping movement. They were coming here, but they weren't immediately clearing this leg out because they were mimicking the shrimping movement that they do down the mat. So in my head, I was like, wait a second, why are so many people, whether it was at my gym or it was another gym where I was teaching seminars, why are so many people not clearing their leg out? And then I came to the realization that it's probably because they're not doing the backward shrimping efficiently. So I'm going to make a little adjustment. Initially, I was doing this here, shrimping, and then my trailing leg here was staying straight. So I'm coming here. Boom, my trailing leg was staying straight. And you'll see this in gyms all over the world where they're shrimping and the trailing leg is staying straight. But I'm gonna make one little adjustment. Instead of keeping my trailing leg straight, I'm gonna shrimp like this. I'm gonna treat it like I'm kind of bicycling my legs. So I'm gonna go here. My knee comes up now. It's almost like I'm walking up the mat with my legs. Now, you may be watching this video and be like, you know, this is ridiculous, like what's the big deal? But in my opinion, it is a big deal because if you get that mindset of bringing that trailing leg up every single time you push with the top leg, then you're going to have the mindset of clearing your leg out. So if I take the same scenario, right? And this is the only way I knew how to shrimp backwards initially, and we're here like this, and I push, and I bring my trailing knee up. As I'm doing it, I immediately clear my knee out. There's no leg getting stuck. There's no why is this happening and so on and so forth. And then he's down here, I turn, bring my knee up, bring my knee up. Each time I shrimp, I'm clearing a leg out. Now, like I said, to many people it may seem like a rudimentary thing, but in my particular opinion, if you get used to shrimping this way, it's going to make your elbow knee escapes efficiently much quicker. I'm also finding that people who have experience in grappling already, who've been doing the old way of shrimping for years, they have the hardest time adjusting because they're already kind of like set in their ways. Their body mechanics and their muscle memory is already set in regards to the old way of shrimping. But when I have new individuals do this, brand new people who come to jiu-jitsu and grappling, they pick up the new way much easier. Now, it's not going to harm you in regards to shrimping whether you're bringing your knee in. So, I mean, it's not going to harm your other movements. So another way that the backward shrimping would be used is if Colin is inside my guard and I have like an open guard here and I feel like he's putting pressure into me here like this. I'll come inside. I can use 1 foot or I can use 2 feet if I want to, but it's not going to harm me. I'm still accomplishing the same exact goal in regards to creating space, and then I could come in and start playing my guard. If he puts more pressure back into me, here, I can even use that as an opportunity to possibly attack him afterwards. I mean, if we back up just a little bit, and we're here like this, right? And he's pushing into me, and I shrimp doing the new method, here, boom. I can use that to set up things like triangle chokes as opposed to shrimping the old way and going here. I didn't do anything to clear my leg out. Now, this isn't necessarily bad when it comes to creating space when you have the guard. However, this gives you, the new way gives you more opportunities. This is the old way. This is the new way. Now I can set up triangle chokes right off the bat. So the new way turns into now an attacking shrimp. Whereas the old way is more of a distance creator. I mean, I know I would personally rather create distance and then be able to attack right away, as opposed to just creating distance. Now, some people even watching this video, they may still not get the particular detail. So let me just go over it one more time. When I'm here like this, right, I'm pushing with my top leg, turning, still lifting my hips off the mat, but as I push with my top leg, my bottom leg, my knee comes to my body. And my hands are out. The reason why my hands are out is because I'm mimicking the fact that I'm blocking either my opponent's leg or I'm blocking my opponent's body. You want to use your hands as well. Then from here, turn, push with my hands, and then as I push with my top leg, my bottom knee comes in. Here, bottom knee comes in. Bottom knee comes in. And then I rotate. Bottom knee comes in. Bottom knee comes in. Bottom knee comes in. If you go on YouTube and you watch most people teaching the shrimping movement, they're not teaching it this way. I'm not saying I'm like Mr. Guru and then my way is 1000% better than everybody, but from my experience, I believe that by doing this, it has helped me a ton, and it's going to help even those I teach a lot much better as well. Because as I mentioned before, one of the most common things that happen when someone's doing an elbow knee escape, from my perspective, is they forget to pull this bottom leg out. They go here, boom, and they're doing this. My leg is still stuck because they don't have that muscle memory to pull that bottom knee up right away. Whereas if I had the muscle memory, I come here, boom, bottom knee's up, bottom knee's up, bottom knee's up, now I'm out. Every single time. So I truly believe that you should make an adjustment in your shrimping. Don't leave the trailing leg straight, and ideally, don't even push with both feet. Because pushing with both feet is creating the bad habit of leaving both your legs straight. If someone's on top of me and both my legs are straight, they're still on top of me. That just pretty much is what it is. From here, they're still on top of me every time. But when I do this, bottom leg's out. Now my bottom leg's out. So on and so forth. So definitely make an adjustment in regards to the backward shrimping. That's the biggest thing in regards to this video, is making an adjustment to your backward shrimping. Now what about the other things? when people are doing certain shrimping movements, even when they're escaping or when they are basically moving in different scenarios, a lot of times they don't understand exactly why they're doing the shrimping movements. In my opinion, shrimping is 95% an escaping movement and 5% more of like a positional movement. It's not a guard retention movement, in my opinion. I don't believe shrimping is a guard retention movement. Now, a lot of people think that the backward shrimping applies to side control escapes. It does not apply to side control escapes. The shrimping movement that applies to side control escapes is circle shrimping. And very rarely do I see circle shrimping done in most academies. This is what I mean by circle shrimping. We're here like this, right? This time we could use both of our feet. I have my hands out, or I have a frame here because I want to frame my opponent, and then I push and I circle. You can get your hips up, turn the other way, I circle. That is the proper shrimping movement for when you're trying to escape side control. The reason why the backward shrimp is not a proper shrimping movement when you're trying to escape the side control is because if I did a backward shrimp and he had me in side control, I'm not going to escape. This is what's going to happen. Let's say Colin has me in side control, right? I have my arms in and I do a backward shrimp, the one that we do all the way down the mat. And I'm even going to do it the good way, okay? I'm going to go here. He's still connected to me. But if we're here like this, right? And I have this position and I do circle shrimping, there's not a good connection here. Now I can start working to bring my knee in, or I can start working to underhook and then escape and so on and so forth. So it's important to understand why you're doing the drills. When you're doing the shrimping movements, think in your head that you have somebody on top of you. Like, what is the purpose of doing this? The purpose of shrimping is not to get from one end of the mat to the other. And that's what people use it as. When they're doing the drills, they think, okay, let me get from one end to the mat as quick as possible. And they forget about the fact that you're doing the shrimping movement because you should be pretending that your opponent is on you in some way and you're trying to improve your positioning. If I show you the circle shrimping from this end, I'm going to show you the backwards first. So Colin's going to have me side control on this side. We're here like this, okay? I'm here, let's have my forearm under, and I'm even trying to get to my side, okay? I'm trying to get good positioning. I'm going to do backward shrimping. Here. Nothing happened from there. He's basically stuck to me, and actually every time I did it, his hip came closer and closer to me. He wasn't even trying to do much of anything, but his hip came closer to me every time I did a backward shrimp. But when I do a circle shrimp, we'll just turn this way. Here. When I do a circle shrimp here, my hip disconnects from him now. I have my frame, but there's so much space. This is the good way. A backward shrimp when they have me in side control, that is putting him actually in better position in my opinion. Because what's happening is his hips are coming closer to me. So when you're escaping side control, it's the circle shrimping that helps you create space. It's not the backward shrimping. Now the final most common one is the forward shrimping. A lot of people have no clue on why they do forward shrimping. And this is what I mean by forward shrimping. With forward shrimping, you can use both your feet, and you always want to throw your arms over your head. The reason why you want to throw your arms over your head is because you're mimicking the fact that you're throwing some part of your opponent over you, okay? So I'm here like this. People do forward shrimping like this, and I don't agree with it. They go here. This is the bad way, okay? They just go here, like that. When in reality, when you do the forward shrimping, you should be doing this. You should be throwing your arms over your head. Because if I don't mimic that while I'm shrimping down the mat, I'm not mimicking the fact that I should be throwing my opponent off of me and throwing my opponent over me. Let me give you some examples. Example number one is if Colin has me in side control, right? And I'm able to get both of my arms here. If I do the bad way, right? he stays on me. But if I do the good way, I'm out, because I threw my arms over my head. You don't do these drills for just to get exercise. You do these drills to mimic real life movements that you're going to be doing in your rolling. And it's important to understand why you do those things. Another example is if he has me mounted, right? And I'm able to bump up, boom, and get both of my arms underneath his legs. If I do the bad variation, where I don't throw my arms, he's not going to go anywhere. But if I do the good variation, I'm out. You have to throw your arms over your head with power. Another example is if he has my back, right? And I'm able to get both of my arms underneath his leg. This is an escape that I use against a lot of people. So I get both of my arms underneath the legs, not one arm because this is dangerous, but both of my arms. Then I come down to my side. If I do the bad way, nothing happens. But if I do the good way, I throw them hard over me and then I can turn. So these are some things to think about. Those are the 3 major shrimping movements. Now there's subsets of those. There are little variations. There's power shrimping, there's side shrimping, and so on and so forth. But these are the 3 major ways: backward shrimping, circle shrimping, and forward shrimping. The big thing is, I think it's important to kind of retrain your brain on how you do your backward shrimping. So hopefully this video helps you out in regards to having just a different perspective on the whole shrimping drill concept. Because I find that a lot of people, they just do the shrimp so they can warm up. When in reality, the shrimp is a very technical movement that should be approached in a very technical way. And if you're just going down the mat, or if you're just dragging your body around the mat, and you don't actually think about the technical aspects that you're doing, then you're wasting opportunities to improve your grappling. So focus on this, and if it helps you out, or if you have any questions or comments, post below. Peace.